1, 2, 3.
My name is Paoli.
I am Marco Casali.
I'm Lasse Rantala.
Carl Dial. I'm the
Escapist.
Hola, soy Marco Casali y ustedes están escuchando
In to the Escapist Corner. Moro! Rantala Lasse tässä terve. Sä kuuntelet Escapist Corneria.
Yeah, so welcome to the Escapist Corner. Are we rolling? Yeah. So, surprise! We have Adrian here. Adrian aus der Schweiz.
Genau. Exactly.
Defending champion with the German Throwdown, right?
Yeah, that's true. Last year.
Yeah.
Nice to have you here.
Yeah, it's nice. It's crazy to be back. Like to see like it grows so much to like last year.
It's crazy compared to last year, no?
Huh?
It's crazy compared to last year. I mean, the amount of people, the amount of everything.
That's true.
So.
It was nice because the people are so close here. It's like really fun.
Yeah.
But this year, like when they said like they had like the double of spectators, they're like, whoa, okay, this is cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. So, for people that don't know, Adrian, aka Mountain Man. No, but you're actually you're kind of the fittest guy in Europe also, sort of. We have your buddy John is competing there, but he's not in Europe anymore. So.
No, not anymore. It's going to be interesting now when they split the regions, how they like, where they put the line, what is in the north, what is going to be in the south region.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
So what made you actually move from... Because you were living in Dubai, right?
Yes.
And now you moved back to Switzerland.
I like two things. One thing was like it was nice in Dubai. The reason I went to Dubai was like, okay, I want to go somewhere where I can train like during the winter outside, because like after the games I just realized like, oh, I have to run more. Like I wanna a lot of running. Like this last mile on the Murph was like, okay.
I'm really trying to practice this one.
Yeah, like I need to run more. No, it was like I want to go somewhere like where it's warm during winter time, like nice weather. And then I just got a job offer in Dubai, and it was good. It was nice, good experience. But yeah, like so I was supposed to come back for like 2 months holiday, like just training in Switzerland. And like after these 2 months, I was like, oh, it feels so good to be back home. Just like. Just train. I didn't coach there, so my best friend, he's running a box in St. Moritz, and so I lived with him. So we just like woke up in the morning, train, go back home, and it was just like for my training. Like in these 2 months, I make it like a big progression, and I was like, oh, I want to keep that. I don't want to go back, and let's see what happens. It's nice to be back home, but it's getting cold now. So.
But it's kind of it's like being in a twilight zone there, I guess. When you're in Dubai, it kind of time stops. You're in that kind of that sphere, and you're not. I don't know how it is, but I just imagine you're not really in the society. You're more like in the box.
Yeah, that's like there was like. Yeah, in Dubai, it's like I went in morning 6 a.m. I mostly coach, and I went home like mostly at 11 a.m. So this was my whole day just spending in a box, train, coach. Yeah. The only thing was nice on Fridays. It's like the same as Sundays. Yeah. So we had the day off in a box. I didn't coach. So and then like I said, I did a lot like Yonne and the media. They came over, or they lived a little bit outside of Dubai. Yeah. And then we just mostly like trained in the morning 4 or 5 hours. Then we learned like. For lunch, and then we went always every Friday to cinema. They had like in Dubai this nice cinema where it's like flying first class in an airplane, so you can go back
like a living room in
so you lie down, you have your pillow, and you're like watching movie. It's fucking epic. It was really cool.
But how is it Dubai? I mean, a lot of CrossFitters going there, like there's a huge CrossFit community, like expats maybe more of them.
Yeah,
mainly, right?
Yeah.
How is the system? Like the people from the Emirates?
It's hard. Like there are different boxes, and we had like the box was like probably the most local people, and it's hard. It's a different mentality. Where like I had a little bit sometimes a problem. It's like, I got raised like you have to earn everything, and there it's more like you get everything with doing nothing. And I was just like, this is not my mentality. Sometimes you had like, I was just like hard, like
But
different opinions.
I guess it kind of gets that because they have got sort of like sudden richness
Yeah, that's what I
going
mean.
on.
Like there are some people that never had to do like anything in their life. They're just like, and they're not gonna do something like in the future because they just have the money and like they have mates for everything and just
That's
like.
crazy.
So I want to kind of unwind that. It's called the Sand Warriors there, right?
Yeah.
Is there any connection there with? Because I just recall now somewhere back in my memory that this has something to do also with a former Games athlete, like is his name Aronpa?
Miko, yeah.
Is he also involved there?
He was the first guy in Europe who like from Europe and went over, and he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And he already like helped me to get a job there.
Yeah.
So he's like a few years there, and he started like he told me like in a small farm, just like having some members, and then they started in Sand Warriors, a gym, and now he's coaching in CrossFit St. There's a new gym. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but he was the first guy like. Went over.
And how tight this is all these expats going out there? How tight is the CrossFit community, the expat community? You have what's the name of the Games athlete, the female?
Yeah, we have who's there like Mia Ackerlund, Phil Heskett as well from the Games, Carmen Bosman, Emilia and Jonne of course, Rasmus Andersen moved over last year as well. We just have like I said, sometimes on Fridays we met each other. Like we just like let's go to one box, train like what we want.
Because one thing we discussed with Jacobina and her sister, we were for the previous podcast, is like how probably one of the reasons why Icelandics are so good because they have these training partners, and the level of everyone just goes up because you're pushing themselves every day.
They have like 17-year-olds that are like kicking ass.
So do you see that on your training progression? Do you see that in a competitive level, like pushing themselves every day? Okay, I'm competing with Johnny every day. So
no, like for my training, I don't like to I like to train for my own because I know my weakness. I can push myself really well.
Yeah.
Like let's say you always. Like training is different than competing, you know. Like definitely, like you can see here. So when let's say you train, like you try to get a high volume, or it's like 5-6 hours training a day, you can't go every workout like in a competitive way, even like a mental way. Like let's say you have a bad day and you lose like I don't know. Like it's a good example. Like before regionals last year, I was in Spain and Lucas Esslinger he came over from Switzerland and we did like the first weekend of the regionals and he destroyed me like just not a bit. I was just like tired and and he came over and he destroyed me in every workout around like 1 to 2 minutes and I was like what the fuck, like what is going on, like, and I was just like try to stay calm, like, you know, it's just training, you know, it's different. And then in a competition, like it was fine, like I got game spot and I made it,
lights on and then boom,
go. So I think like I said with Yonde was interesting, like this once a week have this competitive way where but like this thing for my training for me as a person is good, like I know what I have to work on and like let's say you have a weakness, like let's say you suck at wall balls, so like get your training partner and he's fine, so like if you want to get better at wall balls you have to do like 3-4 times a week wall balls, so now try to tell your training buddy like hey I have to do wall balls again and he's there like
no, that's good.
No, why, like and so you never get better. So I think if you want to work on your weakness and get better, it's good to train alone and then sometimes meet up and see where you stand. This is quite interesting, like
But I saw regarding like doing CrossFit related to we just talked about it. You've been playing ice hockey. Like is that your like sports background? If you would define your base as
like my mom and my dad raised me with like so many sports. Like every weekend we went out on a bike or just like up a mountain or just like on the skis where we lived. So I was like quite in a big spectrum of sports. But then it was like 6-7 years I said I want to get an ice hockey pro, and then they pushed me. And with 14, I moved away from home, just go to a sports school.
Which team did you play in?
First, it was a HC Thurgau, and then I moved to EV Zug, where it's quite a big team in Switzerland.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
We were supposed to have a ex-Swiss coach, or he's a Swedish coach, but he moved to Switzerland.
Oh, nice.
I can't recall which teams he was coaching, but would be a funny coincidence if it was him. But his name is Niklas Wikegård. He was also coaching like Djurgården in Sweden, Stockholm, and a couple of other teams. So he's been everywhere. But yeah, I wanted to say next time we have to meet on the ice.
Yeah, that would be great. Like I was like 3 years not anymore on the ice because just like injuries, and it was like, I don't know, I stopped ice hockey and I went directly into CrossFit, and like, I don't know, if you had a big love, you don't want to go back and just do it at like half. So I just like, okay, let's keep it on. But I think like 1 month ago, I was like with friends, like, okay, let's do this. So on Friday night we went on the ice and it was so much fun. It was just like,
I mean, I can relate to this because I also played, or both by team sports before, but like playing ice hockey and CrossFit is kind of, because CrossFit is not a team sport in that sense, but at the same time you're doing workouts together with other people, not always, but kind of how
That's
people
true.
start with it.
yeah.
And the thing when you do ice hockey you play team sports, is that you're kind of very dependent on the team, right?
But this is what I like in CrossFit. Like, if you get to a competition, or like you're good because of you, or you're not good because of you. So you can't blame anyone else. In ice hockey, it was like, oh, today I feel tired. Well, like there are 19 other guys, so they will be fine, and we're gonna win anyway. So yeah, it's much more on you.
Yeah, that's the thing. You in a team sport, you have a bad day and you have 10 other guys like pushing you over, carrying you over. You're alone. One day you're off, and CrossFit,
and you're
done.
You're gone. And I like that mental pressure. It's just like, yeah, I love it. It's just like cool.
I tried that in Berlin, by the way. I wanted to also do like a small comeback in ice hockey because I just saw the teams. I was like, oh, I can play with that. It's no problem. But it's super hard to get a team. There's like 6 teams in the entire Berlin.
Oh, wow.
And in Stockholm we have like 500 in just one town.
Okay.
So coming to that, like 6 teams, and like everyone is buddies, and to get a spot is very hard.
I can imagine.
That doesn't matter how good you are. It's just like, if it's not Eisbären, then it's not about your fitness level.
That's the thing. I mean, when you do some sport, any sport, doesn't matter, at a certain level, then you go back to for the fun of it. It's like something's missing. Something's not quite right. These guys are taking. I mean, why are you drinking beer in between like halftime? It's like this is not. We're doing sports. Back home, we're playing. No,
exactly.
I just quit.
I tried.
I'm not for that.
I then got into inline hockey because the strategy was so I can meet people that are in ice hockey.
Okay.
But yeah, they were drinking booze and having cigarettes like during the break. So
you're like, what the fuck, guys? We have to fucking win a game.
I'm not here to play a game. I'm here to win.
But you also had that same experience with when you came to Berlin, and you didn't do rugby, but
I went to a different place. I used to play rugby very high level, and then go to Berlin. Just said, okay, you know what? I don't want to play rugby anymore. I want to play touch rugby, so a different thing. And you just used to the training 4 times a week, used to the suffering, and you go to I mean, we had this social day on Saturdays, and I was there to win, not to play. So it kind of mentality was off the. I think was my mistake more than them. It's like I was off the track. I mean, I wanted to win, otherwise it was just for fun, and so okay, I'm not fitting here. And then I got to CrossFit, and okay, I can beat myself every weekend. I can improve myself. I see progress every week, every month, or every year. So kind of path led to that way.
But this is like the question I had sometimes in my head, like what's gonna happen when, like, at some point I'm gonna be done with competing. Like I still have a few years left. I want to make the best out of it. But at some point it's like, can you do CrossFit just like 3 times a week, 1 hour in a class? Oh, I don't know.
Like, you're a professional athlete,
so
it's
like,
gonna be.
Like at the moment I was thinking, no way.
What's gonna be your fitness afterwards?
Yeah,
after finishing fitness career.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like, just like like if you did something once, like on a high level, make a step back and just take it easy. It's hard, like
I think Chris Piller says like he went to the games this year as a master 35. He just say, okay, I'm just doing 1 hour a day and see how it goes. Went pretty well, but
true.
The guy's a superstar.
Oh, if you have once a good base, like you're not gonna lose it.
Exactly.
If you do still something, like if you stop doing anything, you're gonna lose quite fast. But if you have a good base, I think you're not like. It's the same when I went back to ice hockey like 1 month ago. I was impressed how good I was. Still like I went like. There were some people like, oh, we have a team for you. Come on. I was like, no, guys, I can't do that. Like,
sorry, one more question. You went back to skate ice hockey like for a day or I don't know,
just one night, and like there was also like with some like old players there, like senior players, and the coach was from our best team there, like second, like it's a third or fourth league in Switzerland. It's okay, but I was like, and then he saw me and he was like, oh my god, I just make a license for you. You have to come in my team.
Were you sore after training?
No, not at all. Like I felt great on the ice. I was like, wow, like why I didn't make CrossFit back the day when I played ice hockey.
Exactly, and I want to come to that. That's my like always thing I come back to. I'm like, why the fuck did I not do something like CrossFit when I was playing ice hockey?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Okay, I was doing cleans. We were doing presses.
Yeah, as well. Yeah. Bench press, squats, like deadlifts. But I think these workouts, like, or just like I said, like in ice hockey, I remember back the days after like the summer period, first time on the ice, like, oh, my back hurts, like my legs felt heavy, my butt. I'm just like, whew. This time I was like 1 hour, like go, and I felt like on the ice awesome, and the next day I felt like nothing. It's interesting.
No, I know, like when I step on the ice now, it's been a while, but just skating, and I just feel like this drive I have in the legs, I never had that when I was playing ice hockey.
No, you're 20k lower lighter also.
No, I've been kind of steady weights since I was 16, but still I didn't have that. I think I'm fitter now than I was then, which is kind of like I'm double the old. I was probably the best when I was like 16 to 18, and I was playing also like in the first league in Sweden. But I was still like, if my fitness level would be like it is now, and I'm like double the old as that, I would have been outlier. And
this is like. As my coach, so like at the moment I just focus on my athlete side, but even as my coach side, like I like to coach normal people, but I would love to coach like ice hockey teams or like even skiers, ski cross country. Like we had some guys coming in my like in St. Moritz. Like now we started this summer to work with the ice hockey team, with the local ice hockey team, and they loved it. And like that would be like my goal as a coach, like bring this like the CrossFit stuff into like other sports and help them to develop.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of cross reference. I mean, you work and things, intensity-wise, strength-wise, body,
like
body awareness, and all this stuff.
Like I would not teach them like a snatch. Like why they have to spend hours for a good technical snatch? That makes no sense in my. Like they have to do other things, but like just like as you said, the normal course, like intensity, the strength stuff, and all the stuff. I think it would be awesome. Like it would be really cool.
Just to learn how to handle like lactate on a 20-minute workout or even a 40-minute workout, and that would make a huge difference. And I've seen like NHL players doing more like I think the reference is functional fitness, right? So they do some kind of CrossFit-ish similar things. But what I'm always missing in all these, I've also seen like rugby players and football players, they do kind of functional fitness, which is always like a med ball and some rubber bands or something like that. But what I'm always missing is like, hey, where's the full range of motion here?
That's true, yeah. I agree with that.
Because that's also something like, if you look at the wall ball, for example, what is that? It's like full range of motion of your hip, going down in a deep squat, and full range of motion, hopefully with your shoulders also. So if you're an ice hockey player and you can have that mobility without caving in with the knees and, or even, hunching when you're back and so on, the possibilities when you do a slap shot or tackle and everything, you would have so many more options than most ice hockey players. What's the reference? Is like.
Yeah, and even injury-wise, if you are more mobile, like same in CrossFit, like you have less injuries. So
how do you recognize an ice hockey player just by seeing him? This is something people say in Sweden, at least. You know if somebody's an ice hockey player if he has something, and
a snooze in his mouth.
Or they have a duck butt, so a big butt.
Oh yeah.
Which is like my reference was always like, okay, ice hockey players have big butts, but it's not the big butts, it's the overextension, and because we have short hip flexors. This was like something I learned 2 years ago. Like,
that's why.
That's why. We have short hip flexors.
Makes sense, yeah.
So, what does that mean? Yeah, it will reduce my power output in my legs. So if I'm skating, the end of my skate will always be weaker because I don't have the full extension.
Yeah.
So I was like, if just ice hockey players have full extension in their hip, boom.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you see? What's the plan for you next year? What's the goals? What are the program? What's your schedule looks like for the next year?
So after regionals this year, I dropped out after the first event with an injury in my shoulders and pec. Oh, yeah, I was frustrated. So, like I said, I went back home and I was like, okay, I have to try to make some money with competitions, just like finance my season. Mm-hmm. So I did quite a lot. Like I went for the Swiss Alps battle with Sam Briggs. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Then I went to Nice for the Alpha Games, then to Elfit for the Egypt one, and now here. And that should be fine. So like I said, back in Switzerland, the goals are really high for next year because like I had a bad year this year. Like it would be, I think the regionals would be great or have been great this year from programming, but
these things that happen.
This is true. Like you can change. So I just train, no coaching anymore. This makes a big difference. And we'll see. The goals for next year definitely like go back to the games and then definitely play around on the top 10 there and see how much damage I can make. Mm-hmm. That is like what I have in mind.
Very good.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with the new regions.
Exactly.
And it's much easier now for us. Like they gave us 4 more spots. Yeah. It's like I think a little bit less pressure for us to go to regionals and.
Because 5 spots in the regional for European regional is a very small group of people. You have to be really. It's a very tough division.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, men and women both wise, very very tight one.
That's true. No, I think it's still like a really high level region, like both the north and the south. So, but let's say it's just like easier from the open to get to region. Like even for like people who are like looking forward just to make regionals. It's now
double the space.
Yeah, this is what I mean. So it's now much better. But it's going to see interesting to see how this is going to play. But definitely like they're in both regions. They're like good guys. So it's definitely not going to be easy. But just let's say they gave us 4 more game spots for the same amount of people. That's nice.
I think it's also fun to see also the region in Europe, like many of the athletes that. Many of you top athletes, you seem to have also like good, camaraderie between yourselves. Also seeing that go into the games, and you're like a clique of Europeans at the games and so on. How was that when you were there last year? To be there like the first time, were you kind of overwhelmed with all that?
It was. So I went like 3 weeks or 4 weeks before the games. I went over, and I mostly just went to CrossFit Costa Mesa. It's in California as well, and like I was the only European guy there. It was like Christian Lucero. He was there, and his coach. His coach is the owner, Max. They're really nice guys. So I just mostly trained on my own. Sometimes I hit like sessions with Christian as well. We mostly went together for swimming because I was scared alone in the fucking sea. Or like, there are sharks out there. Like, okay, I'm not going alone. Like,
He's a bigger guy, so hit him.
Yeah, like it was like as many. Let's take as many people we can. Just like so the chances like it's bigger. And one time we were just like both, that's me and him, and we were both like, oh my god, this is gonna happen today. We're not gonna make it to the games. No, that's good. So just mostly train on my own. Then yeah, like I said, like I was new in the sport. It was my first year, like so I didn't know like much of the guys, like just from regionals. They were like I did before like 2 competitions, that's it, and then regionals. So I was quite a newcomer. I didn't knew that many guys that I knew now, like with Yone and stuff. So I was mostly on my own. Then for the games came my best friend over. He's always coming for like the big competitions. And he just helped me out where he can, like this is like even like my coach, let's say like that. So it was different last year than like it will probably be like next year or like.
Yeah, I mean experience brings a lot, I guess. I just had that reflection, or I said like for the biggest issue for many of the experienced athletes is just to you have to nail it in the open.
Yeah.
So you get in and win the regional or get into those spots, because as long as you have the routine and your experience and you come to the games, that's like 25% of your output is going to be or your placing is going to probably be in that experience, not to get too stoked, not to go too hard, not to.
It's just like, so for me it was just like at regionals we have mostly like 10 top guys. They're like fighting for these 5 spots.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, this is a good workout at regionals, and you made like mostly like top 5. So, but then you went to the games. It was like, I remember there's one workout. It's like, oh yeah, I can do well in that one. I want to take a good place. Yeah, I got 15th. So it's just like the level is just like so high. Like it was like amazing. Like it was good for me like to know that I have a lot of work to do, but just the level of the average people at the games, it's just like a different world than regionals.
Yeah, I think when this is all these movies that CrossFit puts on, one of the guys, I think it's Pat Sherwood, says you don't have no idea how good you have to be just to suck at the games.
That's true. Yeah, and I totally agree. Like I got 34th place, and I was like, okay, yeah, I have to like a lot of work to do, and the level is really good at the games. It's just like
a huge, better.
Yeah, of course, and it's just a huge difference to the regionals, I would say. But it was a good experience. I made a lot of mistakes. I learned from them, and let's see how I can change that. But it was like my best motivation. Like even in my first year, like everything went well. Like opens, I think I finished like 5th or 6th in Europe. My first year open, and regionals I got 4th place, and I was like I was really high in the sky. I felt good. I was like, wow, this is my dream. Like this is work. And then at the games I realized, okay, there's a long way to go. Like it was good, like a good experience, but like for the motivation it was good to get crushed at the games, just like to know, okay, now it's time to work.
So I want to pick your brain on one thing, and it's something that I've been thinking about with many of the top athletes, is that looking at like Matt Fraser, which he was good the first 2 years he went to the games. I mean, he was already almost taking it. But the thing that was like the thing that he didn't dial in, what he changed, what I understood, it's kind of maybe some training, but he also changed his diet. He was like saying, I'm not eating those Ben & Jerry's anymore. That's like, I'm cutting that out. And the next year, he's like crushing it. I mean, it was kind of a domination. So how have you kind of looked into that also with the diet and so on, for dialing that in? Or
yeah, like I was similar back like last year. Like I ate just everything. Like I think I have a good genetics, so I just looked like really good. But I ate a lot of like I want to say shit, but just not good stuff. And I changed as well. Yeah. This year, like I eat much more healthy now and like less sugar, but still, like I always like to take the example with a pizza. Like I like pizza, so like I spend like 5-6 hours a day in a gym just training, or like I spend even more time there. But let's say I just train 5-6 hours. if I'm going to eat one pizza a week, it's not going to affect me. It's just like mental wise, like after when I eat a pizza, I'm really excited. I eat a pizza and afterwards like, oh, that was really good for this week, and I feel great.
Yeah.
But there was one pizza and it's fine, you know. I don't eat it every night, so like small things like that. But of course, if we would eat every night a pizza, that would be bad. Like he ate like probably every night a Ben & Jerry's is not good. Like
it's also about a thing of balance, I guess. If you're drying yourself and if you're killing yourself on the gym, there has to one point when like escape off, you just say, hey,
you have to give you a little mental
space.
break.
Exactly,
it's just not like for your body, just like I said, your body not gonna affect when you eat a pizza. But it's just like your mental break.
I just nailed it down for the last couple of weeks before the games, so before like a strong competition. Okay. For 6
like imagine,
weeks,
you train for the games and like 4 weeks before, like you just like every day, like, oh, I would love to eat that. I would love to eat that. I would like.
That will kill your head.
Yeah, that will kill your head. Like you will.
How important is the mental game in something like that?
For the nutrition.
No, I mean
in general.
In general, as an athlete, I mean you're could be here, could be games, could be open, whatever, but you're going side by side with the guy. I need to beat this guy. This guy's one rep ahead of me. If you're just not strong in your mental game, you're just going to fall through the peer pressure. I know my name. I know my strategy. I know my strength. I know my weaknesses. But you have to be consistent in your head. If you're not strong there.
No, I totally agree. Like I say, in competition, like. Let's say you have a lot of talent people out there, probably probably Rich said once, like there are much stronger guys out there, better in endurance and every stuff, but it's just on the mental side, you know. Like in a competition, like at some point I would say, like even now at the games, like there's not much different, like how strong this and this guy is, like, you know, like I think we are quite similar, like all on a good level. So it's just all on like small things. Like nutrition is probably one thing, but I think the mental
experience, the head, mental game.
The experience. But I think it's just everything, man. Like it's so much mental. Like at some point of level, it's just how good are you in your head and how much pain can you take. So and how you can handle it.
Yeah. But do you have like a coach now that is how do you say, coaching you and with programming or so, or are you kind of doing this to yourself?
No, I'm doing it for my own.
Yeah.
I also when I did play back the day in the ice hockey during summer, I went to my coach like, hey, look, I'm for 3 months off. Like I know what I have to do. I know what I have to work. And in the first time I told that my coach, he was like, what the fuck, no? Like what the fuck are you speaking? You train with the team, and it's like, no, trust me, just trust me. Like if not, you can kick me out of the team. And he was like, okay, let's do this. And like I just made like, I was 3 years by him. He was a really good coach. And like every year after the summer, he came to me and it's like, Adrian, what did you do during summer? Like some guys get a little bit better, but you made like 3 steps. And I was like, yeah. Like,
can you start coaching the team during the summer break?
Can you make the summer training? No, it's like you know, in ice hockey you have like 20 guys together. Why all the 20 guys have to do the same thing? When one guy have to get stronger, you probably know the best. One guy need better technique, one guy have to get faster. So I know what I have to work on to get better, and I just did that. And
but also it's important to be able to recognize your weaknesses and be able to work on those weaknesses.
This is true, but this is just like you have to be honest with yourself. Like of course I don't like to work on my weakness. Like
it's not fun.
No, it's not fun at all. But it's 2 points. Like at some point I get good and then I get fun in it. And the second time, like I always have this situation in my mind. You stay on a competition floor and you're stuck in a movement. You're like, I don't want to stay at this point again. I want to.
No, exactly.
Like just like I remember back last year when I just was new and I was like when they announced the regionals work, I was like, okay, let's hope there's no heavy deadlift. Okay, let's hope there's not this. And it's like, oh wow, I have a lot of like now it's like I don't care, just show up.
Yeah, you're being prisoners of your own weaknesses, and at the end it's like, fuck, I'm gonna have an awful time here. I'm gonna get
It's true. So like this is why I mean like to do competitions or like train with people, because then you get like, oh, this guy is pretty good in that, or like, oh, I had a bad placement in this event. Why? And then like take it out and like get better in it. So, but you just have to be honest with yourself. That's it. But
are you also going to Dubai now for that competition?
No, I'll leave this one out. Because my friend is traveling for 1.5 months. He went to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Have a good time, and I took over the box for 1.5 months. Yeah. So I have just to coach for 1.5 months, and I promised him that. It's this guy who's like always coming, Leandro. he's always coming with me to all the competitions and take holidays. Like, okay, now I give you something back. Go for your holidays. I take the dogs.
Taking off a month in January. This guy's taking care of our own business.
Yeah. He's going to South America for 1 month.
Oh, that's nice.
I have to sleep in the box for 1 month.
Could be worse.
That's how it is.
How it is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was thinking about some takeaways for people listening. Maybe like, do you have any certain? Okay, so if you would break down that you need to get stronger in your, say, deadlift, how would you break that down to your programming, for example?
I just would like program like 3-4 times a week deadlifts, you know, like you don't get better in something when you're not doing the movement, you know, like it's even like I like accessory stuff and all the stuff, and I like to do that as well. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you don't get better with that when you don't do the movement. Like, if you're not good in running, what do you have to do? Run. You know, like, it's not even that big how you run and what's like the program of running, but just run. You know, like even like row and everything else. It's just like you have to do it and you get better. Like, it's in everything. So it's simple. Huh?
We had Chris Hinshaw here a couple of episodes ago, and he was talking about the importance of also how you start to understand the pacing of your capacity. So he sees a lot of athletes like pushing it, and not taking that step back to kind of look at, okay, how are my numbers? Where should I actually be for that time span and so on?
Yeah, how to understand the performance. I mean, how to see the performance, take a picture of it and say, okay, where's my weakest point here and where do I have to really work? And that's what you were saying a little bit. Be honest with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and say, that was just training. I can do it better in competition. No, train as you compete. I mean, it's like,
that's true.
Be strong in that point.
Do you have any? If you would look into the future now for next season, I guess it's going to be like, first it's the Open, right?
Yes.
And
a couple of months away from it.
Are you excited about that, or is it like?
The Opens are not really excited. Like, you have 5 weeks where like you have to do a workout every week. So, like, of course, like you can't put too much on the Open, because like otherwise you lose like 5 weeks of good training, what is a lot. In another part, if you fuck up the Open, you're not going to regionals, so it's easy. Like, you have to do well. So it's like I prefer when they are done. Like, it's
like exactly how you program your season.
Yeah.
To be in top shape during the Open, or you want to be in top shape not in the Open, but more close to regionals, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I think like I always, like, even now I try to be in the best shape as possible, like for these competitions. Like, you can every time get better. This is like how I train. Like, I don't have a strength cycle or like anything else. I just do everything on, like, I do CrossFit during the whole year. I do my endurance during the whole year. I lift during the whole year, because if there is coming competition, I just want to be ready. So definitely, like in the Open, I want to be in my best shape as possible, but don't lose too much. Like, I don't know if you know what I mean, but just don't lose too much of training, and then
don't burn yourself out.
Like, I'm not gonna do, like, I don't know, tapering or stuff for the Open. That's what I'm gonna do for regionals. Of course, it's a competition. It's just hard for 5 weeks, but like, it's definitely different for regionals. Like,
it's 1 weekend all in, boom.
And then you can, like, you have 4 or 5 weeks before, and you can go like training, doing the movement, and like doing the tapering stuff, and so you have better to prepare for like 3 days than for like 5. It's hard to prepare for 5 weeks.
Why do you? It's totally different topic, but why do you think, like, you have why are the Swiss so much better than the Germans?
We are mental strong. I don't know. I think so. I don't know. It's hard to say, but
We can put it off the record.
Yeah,
Spit
it's
it out.
probably better. No, I think there are good athletes in Germany, and they're like such a big country. But like I said, at some point it's just a mental strength, and like I think it's. Oh, let's say I think it must be on that, because like I say, like everyone is training at some point 5-6 hours a day, training a lot, like get professional in nutrition and everything. So what it makes a difference is for me the mental game at some point. Like I said, if everyone is on the same level, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's kind of in Europe you have. I mean, Italy is also. I mean, they are crazy about CrossFit. You have Spain is crazy about CrossFit, but you don't have like the same amount of athletes coming from that region. You have a couple of few that are really good, right? But
the main comes from Nordics, UK,
true.
and then Switzerland.
That's true, yeah. But even in Switzerland, we are just like, it's me and Lucas Esslinger, and like we don't have that big part of the CrossFit like they have probably in the Nordics. So it's like, okay, we have like a lot of average, really good people. Like we don't have that. Like, but even we don't have. We had one girl last year at regionals. That's it. So I think we can still grow, but we are small, and like even in my place, like the people like to do CrossFit, but they don't see it as a sport or like as a competitive
It's a
way.
fitness health program.
Yeah, there's like, oh, I like to do that, but they would never like, and like now because I'm doing it back home, like they're into it and like they follow every competition, which is really nice. But they would never say like we don't have one guy in the box like, oh, I want to compete in CrossFit, like.
They see how you suffer. It's like, no, I'm not doing that.
Are you sure you want to do that?
I'm not.
Well, I would love to like take young guys and like bring them to the top level. That would be awesome. Like just work with someone. Like that would be interesting.
You said you were playing ice hockey a while in Finland. Why did you do that?
Just for 3 months, I was looking for a club after I had my knee injury, and then in Switzerland they were like really hard. Like I was like, let's go to another like country, and I heard it was the second highest league in Finland, and I heard it's a really good league for young players because like they put a lot of time to like the results was not really important in a game. They're just like, we want to train you that you can go to the highest level. So I really like that. So even in game days we had like 2 hours training in the morning, like all out and stuff, and it was really good. It was a good experience, but yeah, Finnish people are not really open, so it's like I spoke for like 3 months with myself.
That's the mental
with
toughness.
my head.
Mental toughness, there you go, I see.
I was like,
it all adds up to the end to where you want to go.
Yeah, like I was fine with that, but it was just like we had car drives for like 6 hours, and I was like 6 hours looking out of the window, like there was going a movie on in Finnish. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna watch this movie. It's like, well, it was a good experience. Like, it was good.
Yeah, it can be tricky. I have the benefit of knowing some Finnish, so sometimes you can say things without using words.
Yeah, it's like, definitely. That was good.
So already 2 workouts done, 1 more to go today.
Yes.
How's it going so far?
It was good. First one was good. Like I tried to go like hard on the first round and see if someone is coming with me, but no. I decided other, so I took a lot out of the pace much more. It was good. Yeah. The second one was good, like 4K row into a 2K ski. Yeah.
What was your strategy there? It's like a quite long row.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a marathon, but a 4K row. So, I mean, we've been talking about like doing 1K, 2K. It just hurts so much.
Yeah, like I actually said Gregor Schregle, where he make the programming for here, I told him like, I think it's better. I prefer to do a 4K into a 2K ski than a 2K for time row like this. It's like painful.
It's so much pain. It's like
So this today, like the row was more a little bit mental, I think, longer, but just holding. The strategy was just like hold a good like around 145 pace on a row, and then
you kind of know your.
I know my 5K pace back the day. It was like 142, 143, so I know what I can hold. I didn't road that. So, and then on a ski, just like see how it feels, and like we do it so much. Like I'm mostly like probably every day or every second day on a row on a ski, so I'm pretty good. Know my paces and where I can push and where not. So It was fine.
So if people go to Switzerland now and they want to kind of be coached by one of the best guys in Europe, what's the box name?
It's CrossFit St. Moritz, and I think we are like the highest box. This is other good, like a good advantage for me. We are on 1,800 meters over sea level.
So you train your
red blood cells.
Red blood cells, and he's like, man, when you come up there after like the first workout, and it's like a workout, you do like thrusters and burpees. Oh my god! The first 3 days, like I can do a workout now here, and I can go back home doing it on Monday, and I'm probably like 2 minutes slower. I'm just like, whoa! It's just like, but then the other way is like now coming down, like
the advantage of it.
Yeah, I don't even feel my heart bumping. It's just like nice. Now it's so much better. But it's good, interesting, like. For the competitions as well, like for regionals, I really want to use that because you have mostly like 2 windows. The one window is you go directly down from the height and you compete, and then the second window where you like on the top performance level is like 8 to 10 days. So I'm probably going to take this one for regionals, and now I played a little bit around with these competitions as to see like come down from the height, how I'm going to feel.
How it works and
and I think it's really good. It's like small things we make.
That's interesting. I don't know how many CrossFitters do that on high altitude.
There's a lot of cyclists that do it.
We have
marathon runners.
Yeah, we have like all like before Olympics or like summer or even Winter Olympics or World Championships. We have like all the triathlon people there. Like the guy who won the Ironman, Patrick Lange, he was training a few months up there. So we have a lot of people there. What is really nice also to watch them, like of course like when I'm swimming next to like a swimmer, like oh my god, I look like shit. But it's just like I really like to look how to train other athletes and take out of it, even like
then you can learn from everyone at the end.
Like even like I love to do like right now see how the triathlon guys train, and it's really interesting, like not even just because of CrossFit, it's just like like the mental thing and how they train is like it's impressive, and I like to take it out. And I think it's like even in CrossFit, I think it's a new sport, and some athletes are just like new to sports. Like even what is an interesting topic is the tapering before like events. Like I didn't like in ice hockey or in juniors, like we just go. Like there is no tapering stuff. But last year before the games, I was totally overtrained. Like before the games, like shit, I don't want to do that. And I was like. Because I was like new in the sport, it was like, okay, now for the games I have to train this, I have to train this, I have to train this, I have to get better here. And I was just like, instead of saying, okay, I can't change in the next 4 weeks like that much, but I can be sure that I'm fully recovered.
Exactly.
But I didn't make it. So this was my biggest mistake I would take, or what I took even for regionals this year. Just like doing this tapering, like just get in your mind, okay, then if the next 2 weeks you don't get better, you have to do the work now. And then you have to be confident, take out the volume. So
build your pace before the season, and then just work with it.
I had no time back today because I was new, but now definitely this was like a big lesson. But like if you watch or if you see other athletes in CrossFit, like it's not big that like tapering. Like if you go probably through here, like you know what tapering is like. Oh what? And I eat that. And I think it's the same as high altitude training. I think it's coming. Because at some point, like you just have to take all the small details to get better. So
the 1%.
The 1% advantages.
So
compound 1%.
It's an interesting fact because we'll see what it brings.
Like some Moritz, but also don't know. Everyone should know, but it's probably one of the most beautiful places also for skiing and stuff. So I can't imagine it's not that bad to be there.
No, like the summer amazing. Like I said, I'm not the snow guy anymore. So this is why I went to Dubai.
After Dubai,
even before. So the summers are just so amazing. The winters are also.
They're gonna take your nationality out of the way. As a Swiss saying, I don't like snow.
Sure.
So.
We give you an Italian passport. Ciao. But the winter, even like you said, like you can do so many things, and like the good thing there is it's snowing or it's blue sky. It's not like here. Like yesterday, I went to the city. I was looking around. I was like, oh my god, this looks like 8 o'clock in the night. I was like, so it's nice. And even the sports we can do. Like I really missed last winter doing the ski cross country. So I'm really excited for that one when I go back home because now we have the snow. Skiing, I'm not doing the ski, but just injury-wise.
Yeah. You take care of your knees and shoulders and everything.
It's like it just must happen something small, and you can like destroy your knee, and then it's like, oh, I destroyed my whole season for what I train now. Like I destroyed it with having fun on the skis. I don't need that.
Yeah, exactly. You have to start thinking like a professional athlete.
Yeah.
And see what's my end goal for the year. It's like,
and you don't want to destroy that with like a small stupid thing. Like I would be really pissed off myself if I won't do that. And like I have after my career, I have a lot of time to do that fun stuff. So I will do it then. But at the moment, I don't even want to do it because I'm just like I have one goal and I want to do everything for that, and it's fine.
So before we wrap this one up, which workout are you looking forward to, or did you look forward to the most in this competition now, the German Throwdown?
I actually have no idea the workouts.
You haven't looked?
No, I have no. I was really excited for the snatch one today, but they took it out.
Oh yeah.
I was like pumped to snatch, but I think the next one going to be fun. I think tomorrow is a clean and jerk ladder.
Yeah.
Last year they had a snatch ladder with the same system, like every minute you went to a higher bar, and that was really like the crowd. There was really cool atmosphere.
Yeah,
that was really nice last year. So I'm looking forward for that. And I have no idea about the other events tomorrow. So
I have to admit, last year when we went here and I saw the competition and I saw you compete, that was when I like understood what it is to be on a level. Because when it got really rough in many of the workouts, you were just looking totally, calm and relaxed, like shit.
I always try to make it look easy, but
it's like the duck under the water, right? You see the duck and you see like, oh, it's perfectly fine, and the water is like, oh, damn it, I'm just gonna keep pace in this one.
Yeah, it is even like for me as well. Like when I look like in competitions, I look right and left because like you have to know like a little bit where the people are and how you do, like. So if I look right and left and I see a guy there like screaming, like dying, I was like, okay, I know he's gonna die in the next few minutes, I will be fine.
Yeah.
But if I look over and one guy's like, oh my god, he looks really good, in a good shape and like fresh, I was like, ooh. It's just like a mental, like even a mental game with other athletes. It's like interesting.
Hinshaw says about this once when he teaches his athletes to listen while they run. So he says, if you're catching a guy and the guy is puffing, you know you're going to catch him, don't worry about it. But if a guy is catching you and you cannot listen to him, then watch out because you're done. He's going to pass you.
That's true.
So that's all this like, okay, how am I doing the floor?
We have a good insight. We can share that after the podcast.
Okay.
A small trick that Matt Fraser did.
Yeah. It was like the same in the first workout. Like I said, I went hard in the first round and I looked right and left. Like if someone is coming, there was no one there. I was like, okay, God, you guys have some problem probably somewhere. I just took out my pace. I just went my workout and it was fine, like that's good. It's competition.
Yeah. Well, thank you for participating.
Yeah, it was a big pleasure.
Where can people look at you? Instagram,
Adrian Mundwiler, Facebook as well. But yeah.
And really nice videos with
we were talking about that because we've been slaughtering your name, like. Is it Mundwiler or the Mundwiler or the?
I'm fine with both. But in Switzerland you say Mundwiler.
Yeah, Mundwiler.
But mostly everywhere else than in Switzerland I'm Mundwiler.
Yeah.
But it's even fine. I don't care that much.
Yeah, see, I was right.
The German grammar teacher. Well, Adrian, thank you very much.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you very much, you guys.
Good luck this weekend and good luck on for 2018 season.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Looking forward for that.
Grazie.